Nossa história tem duas partes.
Our story has two parts.
A primeira é quando a gente se conheceu.
The first one is when I came to know her.
E a segunda, quando a gente se apaixonou.
The second one is when we fell in love.
A primeira parte da história, pra mim, começou quando eu tinha 11 anos e quando eu me tornei membro da Igreja de Jesus Cristo dos Santos dos Últimos Dias. Eu e minha família conhecemos os missionários da igreja através da minha avó, que já era membro da igreja na época. Os missionários começaram a ir lá em casa e começaram a ensinar as lições pra gente. Foi quando a gente se tornou membro da igreja.
Our story, for me, started when I decided to serve a full-time mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I was called to serve in the Guiana, Brazil mission. And there, for 2 years, I would dedicate my life serving the Lord and serving others. As a missionary, we weren't allowed to date, to go out in the clubs, or go out in the movies. We were there. We dedicated our lives 24/7 to the service of the Lord and to others. There's always two missionaries, and how it works is missionaries get transferred from area to area throughout those 2 years.
E eu lembro que a gente tinha mais ou menos um ano e meio de membro, quando uma nova dupla de missionário foi para nossa área. E um desses missionários era o Alan, na época. E eu lembro a primeira vez que eles foram lá em casa, eles foram para jantar, porque eles queriam conhecer o pessoal da área, né, fazer amizade. E com isso, a minha família acabou se apegando muito, acabou fazendo uma amizade muito forte com o Elder Cox na época e com o companheiro dele. E acho mais ou menos, se eu não me engano, uns 3 meses depois, ele ficou mais ou menos uns 3 meses na nossa área até ser transferido. O que foi muito triste pra gente na época, porque por causa da amizade, né, que todo mundo tinha, minha família tinha, mas é a vida de um missionário, né? So, we just want to talk a little bit more about part 1 of our story.
We'll make this very clear. Very clear. There was no romantic relation at all.
No way.
When I was on my mission. And anyone who thinks that or have led to believe that from some reason, because we never said that.
We never said that.
It's absolutely, completely bull.
Yeah, so please, if you want to know the truth, that's the truth. We didn't have anything when we first met, and for like 6 years after we met, so
I was going to college. I was dating. She was dating.
I was dating a lot.
You know why? Because there was nothing between us.
Nothing.
And that time.
So don't believe everything you read on the internet. If you want to know the truth, ask us, like you are watching right now. So, basically that, right?
Yeah. So the second part, though, as we're going to talk about, is when we fell in love. Mm-hmm. So basically, like we've said, well, like TLC has said, the last 9 Day Fiancé, What Now, that's probably the most accurate story. Is after several years, another family that I met on my mission that I became friends with, just like Kirlyam's family, one of their daughters, Hakel, was getting married. I was able to buy some tickets and go to this wedding. But before when I bought my tickets, I wanted to decide which families I wanted to visit again, and I loved her mom and her dad. Her whole family they were awesome people. So I definitely wanted to see them again. This is my first contact with her.
In 6 years, right?
Yeah. And so I just wrote a little message on her wall, and this is what I said. And then, that was it. I was like, okay, I'm going to Brazil. I want to come. I have a visit with you guys.
As you could see, I was super excited because it was a long time since we last talked, and a friend was coming to visit our family. You saw he wasn't coming to visit me. He was coming to visit our family. So, but I was like,
She
oh
wasn't
my.
the same
He wasn't
person
the same too.
that I knew from 8 years ago, and so I mean she was gorgeous. I mean look at her. Come on, people, she's gorgeous. But then again, my mind, I was like, okay, she's 19. I'm like 20. What was I? 27.
28, 27.
Yeah, something. There's like a 9 year gap between our ages, and so I didn't think of anything. I really didn't even want. I'm sorry, babe. I
Like,
didn't
no,
really even
no,
want to,
no,
because that was the
me
last thing I wanted to
too.
do was to.
When in my life I thought I would like, oh no, I'm gonna date Alan and I'm gonna live in the US. Never, ever, ever crossed my mind that thought.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, I always thought he was cute. When I saw his photos, like, man, he's cute. He's tall. I like that. But no way. When he got there, I was really nervous because it was a very long time. I was thought he was cute and everything, but and when I opened the door, my heart was beating so freaking fast. I was like, man, he's cute.
Well, me on the other hand is, during our communications, there were definitely flirtation going
Yeah,
on.
we flirted a lot.
And who started this flirtation? Yes.
Sorry, he was cute. He's cute. So,
But basically,
but I think was like for me, like okay, we can flirt, but was some
yeah,
innocent flirting.
right. But
Was
I think it wasn't as weird as it was
no, that's
for
like
me, because I knew
for
you.
me, I
I
was
mean,
like,
you were young, and I never even imagined. I never even thought I'd have romantic feelings for you, and and then all of a sudden,
I'm
we're
good.
together again, and it's just like, okay, so I had this internal struggle because my head, my brain, logic, I'm like, dude, she's like 9 years younger than you. She lives in a completely different country. There's plenty of good-looking women in the U.S. Like my brain was thinking, no, don't even get involved. But as soon as I got into her house and I was with her family again, and
It was very natural.
it was completely different. And so my heart was just kind of like, dude, you really like this girl. You really like this woman. And my brain's like, no. My heart's like, yes. And so it was really tough for me there because I didn't want to like lead her on, but then I did want to get involved, and we ended up going on a date. We went and saw freaking Twilight
the
Eclipse
first
or something
part
like that. I was
of
like,
the last one.
that was almost a deal breaker. Just kidding.
See,
And I didn't want to.
but I'm sorry, but by that time when we went for a date that wasn't really a date.
Yeah, it was just
only two friends going out together. By that time, I was like, something is happening here, but I wouldn't say anything.
I'm not gonna lie. When we were in the theater, I wanted to hold her hand, but my brain was taken over. I was just like, no, don't, dude. And so, what did Kirlyam do?
I hold his hand.
See, this is her fault. Thank
Like, if you want to do something,
I was a chicken.
just do
Yeah.
it.
So
Like,
and at that time, I was very conflicted, and so it was when it was time for me to go. It was sad. I was sad. I was like genuinely sad.
I thought it was like, okay, it's gonna
Never
be
gonna see this.
6 more years until we talk, because it was 6 years without talking to him. And then when I was working, he went to work with me, and then he stayed there for a little bit, and then when he left, I saw him was just like a movie, like he was walking and started crying because how hard it was for me to cry. And then I saw him walking, and I just thought like, okay, 6 more years or more time without seeing him. No.
Yeah, and so when I left, I can remember, flying home on the airplane. I couldn't stop thinking about her. And but I almost didn't contact her again because my logic, my brain was saying, man, like, dude, like, if you want to date, you're gonna have to date online. You can only see her like maybe a couple times a year. So it was December when I went home, and in February is when we made it official on a Valentine's Day.
And after he left Brazil in December, we talked every
single day.
Every single day until February. And then that's when we officially started dating. And
then I went back in June
for my birthday.
For her birthday. Mm-hmm. And then I went back in October. And that's when I asked her to marry me. And then I went back in December as a surprise. Literally didn't tell her that I was coming. I just knocked on the door and she opened up and I was there.
That's true. It was so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's our story. That's how everything happened between us. And it's not because you met somebody at some point that you technically fall in love and get married, like with us didn't work. Sometimes work like that, but for us didn't, because of the circumstances of the time. And I believe that Heavenly Father prepared everything for us until we got here. So that's it.
I wouldn't change a thing about our story. It's a pretty unique story.
The one thing that I liked more about our relationship, it's because he was friend with my family, not friends with me. My whole family loves him. My dad loves him. My brother isn't the type that makes friends very easy. So
Patrick, te amo.
So yeah, that's one thing that I was always glad for, and I always told him about that, like that he's friend with my family. So just to be clear, we didn't met online. We didn't start dating as soon as we first met. So
no dating app, anything,
no everything. So please don't believe in everything you read on the internet, because people are people.
And my advice is listen to your heart, but your brain also.
Yeah.
And
but
flirt. When it comes and flirt,
flirt works.
Thank you. Thanks for flirting.
Yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys liked the video and share with somebody who has doubt about our relationship. And if you guys have anything else, any other doubt about something between us, just ask. So that's it. Thank you so very much for watching the video. So it smells so good.
Just smell me?
Yeah, he smells so good. And that's it. Thank you. I hope you guys like it. Share, like it, comment, and you guys know what to do, right? Thank you so very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.